A lot of girls, they've seen my face on TV so many times that that's what they want. They want to be associated with that person. It's the fame that get these people. It is not me. It is the fame. Because I've watched females look at me when they didn't know who I was, and I can see it, nothing. And then as soon as somebody whispered who I was, it's this glare in their eyes. You make yourself want that person, you know?
How do you feel about that?
I don't understand how people could stand next to you 1 year, and next year they cannot stand there. They just going crazy screaming. They just can't take it that you're right there. But just last year, I was in the same club, walking around lonely like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't get a date. Couldn't get nobody to dance with me. I was too skinny, too something. And now he's just adorable. He's just, oh.
A lot of people saw this clip and said, yeah, but Tupac only blew up because he got rich. They only loved him because he was a rapper with clout.
Tupac did stuff back in the day that you couldn't do today. And the reason why is because back in the day, he had real people. People were real still. They didn't follow trends.
So women today still love a dead man for money he don't got no more?
Tupac rapped about the struggles in America, and he was somewhat of a revolutionary.
I don't hear no women talking about no more. I say that to say that's not the truth.
His music, his acting, he made me laugh. I used to watch his interviews. He was a stupid motherfucker. He made me laugh. He had all the bitches. You know, he was like everything. He was like the only one speaking up for the hood. And his music made me feel like he was in the household with me.
This quote from Tupac is spike spoken. But what he left out is the part that actually matters. What do you do with clout? He made the most of his opportunity that comes with familiarity. When someone first notices you, you're a blank slate. The second they hear you speak, it changes their view of you. And Tupac knew how to take full advantage of that moment. That's why his rise wasn't just about money. It was about how he used visibility to carve out presence. In 5 years, he turned recognition into respect and respect into influence. And that's the real lesson of clout. It's not for the lucky, it's built.
I see the young black male, and I'll say it like everybody else is saying it, in a state of emergency. This is true. It's been said 30 million times, but how do we get out of the circle? I see it as by showing us our own strength. You know what I'm saying? Showing us our own history, not just the history from Africa and, you know, how we used to be kings and queens, but how we used to be fighters here, how we soldiers. You know, we damn near built this country. So, therefore, how could you not love being black? How could you not want to build more? You know?
When people first see you, you're a blank slate. That's why familiarity matters. Whether or not Tupac understood that, once someone heard him speak, once they saw his actions, their perception shifted. He didn't sit around waiting for fame to define him. He defined himself the second he got an ounce of opportunity. And part of what made that work is what I've already broken down before. The striking features. The dark eyebrows, the long nose, the visible jawline. That's the face you remember. But the difference is he backed it up with presence, principles, and charisma. That combination turned recognition into respect and respect into real influence.
Like that. And it needs to be the black kids. If there's a white person who got money, then you need to help them. He need to help black kids, Mexican kids, Korean kids, whatever. But it needs to be real. And it need to be before we all die and then you say, oh, I made a mistake. We should have gave them some money. We really should have helped these folks. It's going to be too late. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you got to pay your own karma. And that's when God make you punish. When God punishes you. Because I feel like, you know, it's too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for 36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic, that's just real.
Tupac made records and statements. He defended women, he called out poverty, he challenged society head on. Before it was a fad, he said things like,
until we own some shit, I'm gonna call it like it is. How you gonna be a man when you starve? You know? Cause we walk about 5 different houses and a man in either one of them motherfuckers. How we gonna be a man?
A potent line that resonates with men today. That wasn't a lyric. He said that in a speech because he lived it. That's principle over performance, and that kind of boldness builds a different kind of clout. People don't just remember the songs, they remember the man who stood for something real, and that's why his influence outlasted his lifetime.
Talk about police. This man over here is in a really rough area, and he puts his life on the line every day.
I got so much respect for him for that, but look, we have to live in the same neighborhoods without bulletproof vests, without backup, without walkie-talkies, without guns, without tear gas, without pepper spray, without batons. So now we have to fix the problem.
These people don't see it every day.
No, but what I would like to see is for children in our country to have a better future than what you guys have. And that's not going to happen when he's repressing his generation and his people by saying they have no hope.
What do you know about my people?
I know.
Just because you do charity, give money, wipe the guilt away, does not mean you know about the young black man of today's society.
Tupac acted on what he thought was right, even when it brought him heat. He once opened fire on 2 white men who were harassing a black man. They turned out to be police officers. Most artists would have stayed quiet, but Tupac never played it safe. Even during his sexual assault case, he pointed back to his own record. He was the one who made Keep Your Head Up, the one who defended women in a culture that often disrespected them. His point was simple. If that didn't earn him any trust, then don't expect him to keep carrying that message. Whether people agreed with him or not, that kind of conviction forced respect, and that refusal to compromise is what made his presence outlast the controversy.
It's too hard out here. You know what I'm saying? If my people don't stand up for me, who is? I understand these white folks looking at me like that because they don't know me. They didn't hear Keep Your Head Up. That ain't no fluke. You know, Keep Your Head Up ain't no goddamn come up. I didn't do that for to be smiling in my face to say, oh, he's cool. I did that from my heart. So that if they do try to put a rape charge on me, my sisters could say he ain't about that. Now, if my sisters can't say that, you won't hear another Keep Your Head Up out my mouth.
Every rapper since Tupac has borrowed something from him. His honesty, his revolutionary spark, his persona. That's what real clout looks like. Influence that outlives you. And what people forget is he wasn't trying to be boxed in as a gangster.
I never wanted to be a gangster. I'm a thug, but I'm a nice person. I'm a thug by survival. I have to be.
Right? There's this obsession with them trying to make sure that the audience knows he wasn't that. He did everything with heart. He wasn't just a criminal looking for trouble. He stood on principles, and that's why the respect he earned runs deeper than any gangster that's still holding on to that contempt. In just 5 years, he proved that consistent action mixed with authenticity can make your presence unforgettable. And those still stuck in those days still can't get over it. So no, Tupac didn't just get lucky. He mastered the art of turning visibility into respect, presence, and influence. In 5 years, anyone can do the same, if they combine principle, action, and bold authenticity. That's the real lesson of clout and why Tupac will always be untouchable.